another famous beef of yours, because we've had him in studio a couple times. And I find both of you highly intelligent when I talk to both of you, but intelligent people can disagree. Well, what's up with you and Game and the Game? It's back to the Game now. What's up with you and the Game? I want to get you two in the studio and patch things up, but no guns. I don't want any shooting in the studio.
No, I don't. What's the name? I don't have anything with him. It's really nothing to patch up. It's just when you view some disputes have been easier for me than others, because I can understand like what the motivation is. It's obvious that the actual artist, the competitive nature of hip hop as an art form forces the artist to battle. That's what. If you weren't willing to battle, they wouldn't say you're a great MC. Mm-hmm. And because we utilize terminologies that you would hear in the actual environment before everything goes bad. Right. They call it beefing.
But in your case, didn't you guys actually have beef?
You know, but when I look back to the reasoning that it actually started, it makes me classify Game like he's like a hip-hop baby. Mm-hmm. Like he's doing it because he feels like it's what he's supposed to do to be relevant in hip-hop culture. Mm-hmm. There's no real reasoning. Like I've done, what more could you ask a person? I gave you your first two singles. Like, I actually wrote the records and gave them to you. And you sold 5 million records to start your career. Then, so how do you have a problem with that guy?
I think you two need to talk about this on this show.
At that point, I have whenever you got an aggressive aura around you, like, or tone, like people immediately feel like aggressive when they actually hear you, the content, because you're actually conveying the energy that you were surrounded by. Yeah. What happens is you consistently attacked. Like within look at social networking. Look within Twitter, I'll see random attacks from the general public because they just feel like I'm a badass. I just told 50 Cent this. Mm-hmm. And it's a platform that leaves them safe while they said it.
And hip-hop is kind of like a competitive sport in that sense. I mean, people are competitive.
It is.
Yeah.
And it's why music culture, within pop culture, is one of the things that most professional athletes are into because of the tempo of the actual music. And, you know, because they have to put themselves through the kind of physical discipline that you might need to take your mind off of how much of it you have to do, you know?
So tell us about
this. That treadmill experience. When you put the music on, you can be on there longer. If you leave yourself just thinking about what's going on in your head, you're done in 10 minutes. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. This is interesting. A philosopher. Seriously. Tell me about the Tapia situation. The Tapia. I've had dinner with Teresa Tapia not long ago and was talking about Johnny and his life and everything. And tell me about the documentary.
Yeah, the documentary, like, it's odd. It came to me like I had a meeting with Lou DiBello's about other things in actual boxing, and he stopped by and he happened to show me the actual trailer, and I was like, wow. So I said, where is this like playing at? Because I'm thinking it's something that just came out, and it hadn't came out yet. And I looked at it, and I was like, wow, it was really well done, and it's so intense without knowing all of the details of what motivates people at different points. It was exciting to see. It was almost a lesson on like, I had a chance to see him perform and saw him actually fight at different points.
Talking about Johnny Tapia, the late, great Johnny Tapia out of New Mexico, and his tragic early demise, although not as early as many as I thought he would be dead years before it actually happened. Accomplished a lot in his life and has like it's Raging Bull 2.0. It's like it's one of the most incredible stories you've ever heard about a person, let alone a boxer.
Yeah, it's really amazing, man, because it's like he actually had a chance to tell you his story himself before he passed. So you know how you have those moments where you feel like the person knew that they were going to pass away. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Like they had a chance to reflect on his entire life before he actually passed away. Now, the odds of you doing that and on tape before you pass it's really interesting. Like, because everyone has, a lot of times people do things and it's out of their actual norm. And then something happens and then you go, well, he knew that was going to happen because he was doing this, and he never does that, but he just did something different. before it actually happened, and you take note of it because you recapping everything that you actually know about the actual experience, and that plays over and over for people when they lose their loved ones. But in this actual case, I saw that Johnny lost his mother at a young age, and I had an experience like that too. So it was different because I heard him say specifically, he said that every time he actually got hit, it would take the pain away. Like the pain from the loss of his actual mom, when he got hit, it take the actual pain away from him because it would only be the fight. It will only be the physical altercation.
The only way to live in the moment and not in his pain was when he was when he was confronted with that immediacy and that physical confrontation.
Exactly. So it was an escape at the same time. Like we're watching it like this is a job, and he's a professional fighter, and this is why. And he's getting away from feeling those feelings the entire time. Like that's when he's actually free. So every moment that you saw him, that we appreciated him as an actual athlete, was when he was actually free of all his demons.
The world premiere of the documentary will take place at the LA Film Festival on Saturday, June 15th.
7:40.
50. I remember seeing you in Get Rich or Die Trying, and already it's been 8 years since then, and you've done a lot of movies, from acting in Home of the Brave to some of the stuff that you and Randall are producing together. What would you go back and say to yourself back in 2005 about the movie business now that you've done more? What's something you've learned about the movie business?
Oh man, you got to pay attention to it. It's like entertainment is like fashion, so it all recycles itself at points. So some of the things that you love right now are going to be the things that people love later. It's just you got to be able to re-offer that energy. Like it feels like it's brand new because it's new faces and new dialogue and new ways to express the same emotions.
How would you describe reading off the energy? Because people like a DJ would know. Marcellus DJs, who's not here today, but Marcellus DJs, and he'll tell you about like reading the crowd and everything, and good DJs can do it. What does that entail? Is it something you can describe?
Yeah, music is almost magic, man. Like to kind of watch, to be able to watch and have your finger on the pulse of what's going on, so you know what move is the next move. Because there's like, no matter how much consistency you have, there's a point that the audience said, yeah, it's not like when he first came. Mm-hmm. And they put you up against yourself, so it's pretty tough to, if they give you an opponent, you can analyze your opponent and define their actual weaknesses and create your approach to beat that, to beat whoever your opponent is. But when they tell you you're not as good as you go, man, how do I make you feel the way you felt about me the first time when you had no information? All you could appreciate was the art.
You had nothing to compare it to, right?
I've offered more information on who I am. It's tougher because I'm up against the art.
I feel like that's what Kendrick Lamar is about to face. He's somebody who's made a real name for himself, especially out here in Los Angeles. You've worked with Kendrick on records. Do you see him having longevity, and do you see him having to face that, okay, how do I get everybody as excited the second go around as I did the first time?
I think the second go around, they just really decided to like you. Like they're still in love with Kendrick because this is really his first successful album, and it's more like what Wayne is experiencing. Mm-hmm. Right now, Lil Wayne is in a position where people are going, oh yeah, it's cool, but it don't feel like the Carter.
Right.
A lot of that might just be like, an original comes out, then you have all this stuff that's derivative, and the derivative starts making the original sound dated. Now, it's the Lupe Fiasco line. Did you improve on the design? Did you do something new? What did you do something new? Let's hear something new.
Yeah, and what's interesting about that is if you go too far away from your mark, they're gonna tell you they didn't like it because you didn't give them what they liked to begin with.
So you got to reinvent you have to evolve, basically. Still be you, but evolve.
Usually it takes time. It takes time for you to be away from the actual scene for you to create that and know what it is. Because if you're offering new entries and new ideas, even when you come with a new concept, a new style of actual music, and people enjoy it, if they heard you last week with your old style, they're gonna be like, yeah, I heard the song, but they're not sure that it's an actual hit. Like the conflict within music culture right now is it used to take 6 to 8 weeks for you to position a record or for it to be at its peak point at radio, and now it's taking almost 16 weeks. And the youthful audience that actually consumes hip-hop music they have a low attention span. So after 16 weeks, they're not sure when the record is really hot because it's playing on the radio every hour on the hour and it's all over the place. They're going, yeah, but where's the new stuff? They're already off that song and looking at what did you put out that was new since then? Because it's been 16 weeks.
All right, look, we are like went through commercial breaks and everything. Fitty, you got to come in studio with Marcellus and me, man. You got to swing through because I like talking at philosophical depth.
Word. I mean, I always have a good time, and so we'll put it together, and I'll stop by and we can get a chance to talk.
Hey, lastly, 50, I know you're a big sports guy. What do you think about these Lakers and Dwight Howard? Do you think Dwight's going to stay in L.A., and do you think they have a chance to win the title? Well, you've been keeping tabs on the Lakers. What's going on?
I think he should stay in L.A., man. I don't know, I came out to see him play in Los Angeles, and it felt like they were just really getting into a groove, like getting the kinks out of it and really starting to work together. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And Fitty, how bad will it be for LeBron if he does not win a title this year?
Oh man, I think once you get crowned, I think it puts extreme pressure on everything you do. Like you would think that the pressure after you made it into the NBA, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, look how many players were actually working to get into the NBA that didn't, and have to go find new adjustments, new ways to function and live life because they dedicated so much of their time and worked hard physically to actually be eligible. And when you get into the actual league and you position yourself the right way, I've seen LeBron be under all kind of pressures. Matter of fact, for not coming to New York and for choosing to go to Miami.
It's true.
Well,
he's under pressure there. Now we're saying if he doesn't, I mean, like, he just got to play the best he can. Because regardless to what position he's in, we're gonna figure out something to say that this is terrible. He has to. If he doesn't win this actual title, man, he's finished. Like, what does that mean? If we already saying he's the best player in the league, so
just comparing him to Jordan. I mean, that's the problem. If you take Jordan out, then it doesn't matter as much. But comparing him to Jordan, I think, who never stumbled when he got there.
All right. So if he doesn't win, he's compared to Jordan still.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I think if he doesn't win, he's not compared to Jordan as much.
Right. Because I've never seen.
He doesn't because
I've never seen
to dominate his peers at the same time, right?
Yeah. I've never seen an athlete under more scrutiny than this guy for as great as he is. I mean,
during this period, like Jordan's era was by a landslide. Like he just had it.
Oh yeah.
It's a different type of energy too, because he didn't want to be next to other stars. He wanted to beat them.
Right. And that ties into him going to. All right, look, there's so much more to get to with 50 Cent, and we're gonna have to do it. We're gonna have to do it soon. When you're in LA, you gotta come through the studio.
Definitely, I'll come sit down and talk.
That's it. The great 50 Cent, ladies and gentlemen.
The movie is Tapia. The birthday is July the 5th out in Hartford. Thanks a lot, buddy, for stepping by the show. 50 Cent.